even though there was two of. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay. 5 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Would you join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilman Rao. Let me turn on your microphone, actually. Hang on one second. All right, Councilman Rao. Councilman Rao, sorry,
Present.
thank you.
Two of me.
I didn't have your microphone on the first time.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't start with the mayor, but Mayor Rao. Councilman Hunter. He called me and said he wasn't gonna make it, so. Councilman Laverie.
Present.
Councilman Fitzsimons. Here. Thank you.
Are we in compliance with our open meeting law?
Yes.
Public comment.
I just would like to say that,
And did you read my beautiful sign?
thank you for reminding me that I forget these things as soon as I read them.
Records better so we can hear, put it in the minutes.
Maggie Moore, 417 Dixon Street, Caliente. And I just wanted to say that I'm opposed to those AMI meters. It just seems like it's a really good chance for people for city crew members to get out and around town and see what needs to be done possibly. And I think it's prohibitive cost and software just breeds problems.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have any other public comment? Not, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move for approval.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve or deny resolution number 2022-1 proclaiming January 2022 as National Radon Action Month.
I'm not sure if I need to talk to that or if, so this was something that we've done in years past. The resolution is essentially identical as years past, so if that's something you want me to read, I can read, or I don't know how you've done that in the past, actually.
Okay, now, I don't think we need to read it. I think everybody knows what it's all about. Do you know, are they going to provide free tests this year?
So I talked to Linda. She had mentioned that in the past, Keith Larson had brought those in. He wasn't gonna make it tonight, so I don't know if they're going to provide those at a later date, but I will find out. As far as I know, I'd say right now, no, because they're not here to do that.
I know the basements in town, a lot of them are high in radon.
Yeah.
My basement's extremely high in my house, so.
Why we got a chair between us.
I can reach out to them though and find out if
Okay.
if there's an opportunity for us to get those out somehow.
You have, Yeah.
And I believe you still can.
Okay, I just was wondering, usually they've come in and made a presentation and said, hey, we got these things and let's get them tested, give out brochures and stuff. Okay. Okay. All right.
Well, I'll make a motion then, Mayor, to approve resolution number 2022.01, proclaiming January 2022 as the National Radon Action Month.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve January 2022 as National Radon Action Month. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve or deny Lincoln County Conservation District's request to reinstate the status of Tree City for the city of Caliente and to pursue a grant with the Nevada Division of Forestry to do arborists' work and training in Caliente. Maggie.
So, the Conservation District, through the local work group, has had the idea to work on trees within Caliente, and actually a larger area, but to start in Caliente. And our major concerns were the elms that are coming up on the backside of the gabions that are put along Meadow Valley Wash. We're afraid the roots are gonna just jack them up out of the ground. There's a few spots of tamarisk and Russian olive in the wash bottom that'd be good to get out of there. And then there's a need for some education for proper pruning and just some arborist training in the area, both for trees in the parks and fruit trees. It would be training that would be open to the public. And so we brought this to the local work group, they supported it, and a lot of this falls directly into Nevada Division of Forestry's purview. And so they're willing to work with us. We're working with both the urban forester and with Joe and with the natural resource forester. I'm not sure exactly what his title is, but so in order to release a certain pot of funds that the urban forester has, Caliente needs to be designated a tree city, and that has lapsed. And so what needs to be done, and my understanding of it is there needs to be an ordinance, which you guys passed before, and I'm sure could just easily, the same thing could be done again. There needs to be a tree board. I'm willing to serve on it. Sharon Barlow's willing to serve on it. Joe just told me he was willing to serve on it. So I think we can do that. If you want me to find others, I can do that. Or if you wanted to find others, however you wanted to do that. There needs to be a project, an Arbor Day project. And Neil Sheeny at the Honor Camp is working with the elementary school to plant trees. And so that would cover that. And then there needs to be $2 spent per capita on some form of tree maintenance, planting, that type of thing. And I gave all the information I had to Craig. I haven't really researched that very much, but I'm hoping that would be just something that you already have done, since it's not really a large amount of money. So what I'm here to ask for tonight is to make you aware of that. We certainly don't want to do this without your permission. I did look at the property ownership in the wash, and it's a really mixed bag. I went through and made a list, if you guys want a copy of this. In fact, I'll just give you a copy. It's certainly not professional or anything, but I just went through, and anything that touched in the wash, I took out, pulled onto here. So, I was thinking it was 2 pages. Yes. And where I got the information from, I got it off the county site. So what that means is if it's city property, the money comes from one pot. If it's not city property, it comes from the urban pot. If it's not city, if it's private property, it has to come from the NDF Healthy Forests pot. But that would be something that would be handled by NDF. I think this is pretty much gonna just run internally within NDF, but obviously we would want your permission and your blessing. And if it did, the private property, if we did need, if we need, one of the other ideas was hazard trees. Some in state parks and some in wherever they were. And that would possibly require hiring a professional arborist that would have the equipment to get high up in the tree. You guys had loaned your bucket truck in the past, and I don't know whether you'd be willing to do that again. I was kind of told the last time, this was quite a while ago, that it was like, no, because it damaged the truck, which I can understand you would not. But anyway, so that money would funnel through the Conservation District. So I'm just hoping for your blessing, and if you have any questions and any concerns that you would like me to take back to we're gonna meet next week. We have a tour. 3 NDF people are coming up from Vegas, and then Joe and Neil Sheeny and I are gonna go out and look at what we're talking about here.
Move for approval.
You got any comments on that, Joe?
Yeah, the biggest comment is this was actually kind of an ongoing thing, but then the person that was in that position had moved on to something different, and Cayenne, my biggest comment, Maggie would know this, she's like really big on this area and helping out and everything, so it'd be the opportunity too to get some good trees and repair the damage. I've spoke with Maggie before, but we were kind of in the COVID and everything, trying to get down here and do it, so
And
I think it's a good opportunity.
the
And
training.
they're working with the schools too to
Yeah,
get,
and the training would be for anyone, it'd be open to the public. We'd hope that your crew would come, we'd hope the Power District crew would come, whoever, it would be, and that would be run through NDF as well. They have that training already designed. They could just do it.
last comment on that, like just for, I'd coordinate with Grant, and
Yeah.
because Neil and another guy are going to arborist school, which is quite the process, but, they definitely have the training in that area to help the city guys out, like on their maintenance, so I think it's a good thing.
I got a question. We've got signs out that says City of Caliente is a tree, designated as a tree city. How does this expire? And how long does it last? And you say
I don't know. Did you read that in the stuff?
Well, the only
An
thing that
Arbor Day celebration every year is
think
like
it's
the
an
main
annual
thing, and we quit
renewal.
doing that.
It's just a process you have to do every year. Otherwise, it's,
gonna get us more signs out there then?
they'll just have one sign's all we need.
Okay, well, I just wondered.
We got one now. Well, all we have to do is
I thought-
polish it, I
I
guess.
thought one designation we'd always be a tree city.
It is a renewal thing. So the
Yeah.
tree board has to meet at least once a year. You'd have to have an Arbor Day event, and you'd have to spend that $2,000. Not the $2 per capita every year for it.
my understanding, maybe you know a little bit more about this than I do, I'll look into it, that it's a $2 per capita annual budget. If we're already spending money on taking care of these things, that can count towards that
I
amount.
believe so.
So I don't know that it's actually gonna cost us anything more than what we're already doing.
No, that's what I was thinking, the
So,
summer hire.
I'll have to confirm that 100% and make sure that we're on the up and up, but I believe that's the case.
I was on the board before, I can't remember, I know Lynn Wood was on there, and can't remember who else, but, I think the Arbor Day thing I think it'd be good to bring back too, because the year we did do it, Cayenne came up from Vegas and a bunch of stuff for the kids at the school, and I think we planted a tree right by the skate park or whatever, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So the kids get excited about it, so it's probably worth just that aspect too of doing.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to renew our affiliation with Tree City. Tree City USA, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay, approve or deny assessing utility bill late payment penalty fee on the first day following the due date.
So this one is on here. In 2019, council had passed or had approved moving the assessment of the late fee to the last day of the month. And that's something that I'm hoping we can change because it's creating some issues with billing and allowing those fees to show up on the invoice for citizens. And it's created a lot of problems. So what we're hoping to be able to do is move that to the bill is issued at the very beginning of the month. You've got 20 days until the due date, and then the day following the due date, we would assess the late payment penalty fee if a payment was not made in a timely fashion. That would allow us to input those penalties and still print our following month's invoices and have them ready to go out on time and not miss showing the fees on statements where they are appropriate. So that's where that comes from.
So essentially, they have 3 weeks at least
Yep.
after the due, I mean, does
After
that,
we issue the
Yeah.
bill. Yep.
this would make it more efficient for you guys in the office as well?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another one of the things that has come from this is the fee that is, not that it has to be this way, but the fee that is charged for late penalty fee probably doesn't cover the amount of work that comes from having to go through and fix all of the things that come up because of the issues of the timing of assessing that fee.
Move for approval.
Yep, where they have, yeah, I second the motion.
Any comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the changing of the utility bill payment due dates, I guess, to the first day following the due date, I guess is what it is. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Okay, approve or deny moving forward with Sunrise Engineering for a master plan at the industrial park.
Spoke with Grant and Jamin today. Just a quick note on this one, and I think we'll end up tabling for the next meeting. But Grant has been in contact with them. They just haven't got us any hard numbers to be able to make an approval yet. So we're waiting for them to get back to us.
Give us an estimate on what it would cost, huh? Okay. Okay, we'll table that for our next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, first reading of ordinance amending requirements for conditional use permit and approve, deny recommendations for committee for approval, to committee for approval.
Is that something you want me to read?
Yep.
My copy of that went. There we go. That's not it. I don't have it. Let me go grab that. I don't think I printed that out. Sorry.
Minutes.
Did he take it?
It's got everything but the agenda on it.
Got it in our email. Zoning amendment ordinance. loading, but it's in my email. Know what it is?
Sorry about that. Okay. So bill number 2022-01, ordinance number 192, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Caliente amending section 15 of the municipal code of the City of Caliente, Nevada, removing provisions that require a conditional use permit where use is consistent with zoning regulations. So that's all we're required to read on the first reading, and I think it just remains to approve or deny recommendation to committee. for
You know what the
approval.
difference was, the changes were made?
So, yeah, so the changes that are being made are basically just to not require a conditional use permit inside an already zoned area for commercial use, because it's zoned for that purpose. So it just relieves them of the requirement to send out notice that they're gonna operate a business inside an area where a business should be operated.
This is a committee for approval.
Yeah, so the committee can be anybody the council desires. It can, I think traditionally in the past, you've used the planning committee to do that, but if you want to set up a new committee or appoint another committee for this purpose, you could as well.
Already got a planning commission.
Yep,
We'll
I
use
agree with that.
Another one.
Any objections to that? Okay. Do we need a motion on that? Oh, does it say that?
We do, yeah.
Yep.
Approve or deny, so. Okay, we need to approve both of these? No? Just the.
Just the recommendation.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation to committee for approval.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to put the planning commission as the, what do they call it, recommendation committee for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, city clerk's report.
So everything at the depot is moving right along. As far as the utilities go, Charlie's been working on helping me get that fee thing figured out and getting our late assessment, making sure we're on track and doing the right thing there. Linda gave me a report, and I will just read her report. She received word that our bidding documents are ready to go, and we should have the advertisement out on the 31st. So she will email a revised project schedule to the council next week. Paperwork for AB 84 is in the process, and with luck, we'll be able to run both exterior and interior restoration concurrently. So if there's any questions about that. As far as my work, I had a call a couple of days ago with Alan Kalt at Pool Pact, and I had some questions for him regarding a particular issue. And during that call, we ended up speaking for a couple hours about several different things. And he's given me some more tasks to work on. So a lot of what I'm doing, I know I've said this a lot, is going back and making sure that our financial records are accurate and that what we are presenting is going to be information that we can rely on. So I've been making a lot of adjustments. I've been talking with Stacy and our auditors, and they are in the process. They've sent me several emails for requests for our audit that I will be responding to probably over the weekend. She will be here on Monday, and that will hopefully get wrapped up as well this coming week. And yeah, I'm open to questions, but I just keep doing more of the same.
Any questions for the clerk?
Nope, he's got all the answers, and don't need to give him any questions.
I don't know about that.
Thank you for your work.
Yep.
All right, Public Work Manager's report, and he's not here tonight.
It's written.
Have his report.
He
I
emailed
wasn't
it. It's in the packet that you emailed.
planning on reading it all, but just noting that what we had already discussed, he's in contact with Sunrise Engineering, and both he and Jamin said they would report on that next week, or next meeting. And then Grant also mentioned he's been in contact with Lincoln County Power about our substation upgrades, and they are working on getting us a cost estimation there as well, so.
I think we need to talk to him about checking out these places. We had an accident reported to me today where a person fell out here on the sidewalk, tripping on a uneven piece of cement down on the end of the building down here. So we gotta have him check that out and see if they can repair or at least identify them where somebody isn't gonna trip on it, fall anymore, if we can help it.
Yep, I'll let him know.
Okay. All right, our attorney's not here tonight. Do you have anything for him?
I don't have anything for him. He'd probably make fun of me for being the cause of this mess of having a Friday night meeting. That was my fault, so I apologize.
Okay. Building inspector's report.
It's also in your packet. This report, same as report was given to the planning commission. You want me to walk through it, or you just want to read it?
Does anybody have any
Well,
questions?
the
on
only
it?
thing, that it's on this one, item H. I had a meeting with the architect for the Clover Creek marijuana production plant Thursday, and they're looking, the third time they've remodeled this drying room and an office building. They're gonna put a permanent office building up there. And drying room combination is about 20,000 square feet. He had showed me some preliminary stuff, but I haven't saw any real plans on it yet. But I should have those sometime this month. Well, probably next month, I don't know. But looks like they're doing good.
Okay. Everybody looked at that report. Do you have any questions?
I got
Yes, sir.
one question. No, this probably isn't a good subject, but I got no issues with doing this, you know, probably, I remember when that ordinance was passed. But that U-Haul dealer at the end of the street, I know they're two different things, but that's gonna become a issue when these people start getting fined or told to build a pad for their thing, and there's a guy that can operate a U-Haul on our streets, like with no care in the world, but
Well,
that's just an opinion, I guess, of mine.
yeah, that's really a question that we're gonna have to ask Franklin about, because that's a public street. They're parking licensed vehicles on a public
Yeah.
street. So I can't answer that.
Yeah, no, I'm not
It's
looking
a-
for an answer, I'm just saying, I could see
Yeah.
this becoming a,
I
I've brought it up before in the past, but I just wanted to throw that out there, 'cause I
And,
could
and
see
we
that.
kind of discussed that in the planning commission.
Yeah.
Commissioner Rao brought it up as well. But, and I went by there and there was a lot of them there.
You hear it from people, and that's all I
Yeah,
just knew when
and-
that
and-
started, it might start that
Which
conversation.
I don't believe there's anything in our agreement with, that mechanical shop, whether they can park on the street or not.
Yeah.
But we need to review that, and
I know when we passed that, he was gonna put all that behind the fire station.
Yes.
well,
on record, that's what he said.
The amount of equipment they got parked out there won't fit behind the fire
But
station.
that shouldn't be our problem.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's something we'll need to get a legal opinion on.
Well, it's, you know, it isn't the idea of parking a vehicle there that's licensed. It's a business. And they're conducting that on the open street. I mean, if you had a used car business, they won't allow you to park all along the front of the street over here and sell cars, but, yeah, there's, I'm sure there,
Because I know that's a
Yep.
sore subject, but this is stuff on people's private
Yes.
property.
exactly.
And I could see that.
Sounds like a job for the mayor.
After he marries somebody.
All right, have any questions for our building inspector?
If I might add to this, everybody, I gave a preliminary list to you all for the Connex problem. I'm gonna start serving those next Tuesday. Written notices of violation. I'm not sure that I got them all. There's some of them out there that I know were permitted because I permitted them. But if you see anything that you got a question on, bring it up, because it's gonna take me probably 2 or 3 days to get those all. I was gonna send letters out, but I decided it's a lot more friendly if I go talk to people about it. And if I gotta give them some time to get it done, then that's the way it works. But I am on top of it, or at least in the middle of it, so. The other thing I've got is some really good news, and I just got an email from Janelle Woodward with the state on our application, advance assistance on our floodplain. We're gonna get the go-ahead. In fact, I've got to put a public notice out Monday on this so we can get the ball rolling. But they're gonna approve Sunrise to move forward with that grant and develop plans to improve our flood control so we can get at least some of the city out of the floodplain. So that's great news, but it's still a ways off.
Yeah. At least we're moving.
Moving right.
Well, at least they're gonna give us the money to do it. If we can prove up on it. And they got, you know how they work, maybe 3 years from now we'll get a go-ahead, but that's better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay. No questions, we'll move on. All right, discussion of related issues related to the public safety. And we don't have the fire chief or a representative from the sheriff's office here. So, any comments on public safety? No? Any comments on public safety? All right, we'll move on. Discussion of council members' responsibilities, beautification committee, Mr. Fitzsimons.
Okay, our last meeting was January 18th, a couple days ago. Missed you there, Mary. We just basically talked about, we had a holiday debrief, you know, what worked, what didn't, that kind of stuff. I brought up a thing at the meeting about getting Grant maybe involved more in our meetings as we lead up to the decorating, you know, maybe next October. Just so, I mean, the city work crew did a lot for the beautification committee, but Grant had mentioned to me that, you know, we need to sit down and talk about what hours they could give. I mean, because as we know, they're stretched on hours and, but they were very gracious for the city's help. So we kind of talked about the tree lighting thing out here, what worked, what didn't. Santa was kind of over here in the dark. That was one thing we need to work on. The island there with the 2 natural trees, they plan on in the next couple months, just decorating those 2 trees, just depending on the month. It'll be red for Valentine's Day, it'll be green for St. Patrick's Day, it'll have some Easter stuff on it in April, so kind of talked about that, and that's about it. Our next meeting's gonna be February 15th, which is the third Tuesday of the month. So that's all I got to report.
Can I talk a little bit on my report and some stuff that has to do with trees while we're on
Beautification. Park.
board? Okay, on the January 6th, NDOT opened the bids for this bicycle trail down here. Okay, there's only 2 bids for this, and the low bid was W.W. Clyde, the contractors that have just done the work between here and Panaca. But the lowest bid was $1,368,000, and that was 44% higher than the engineer's study thought it would be. A bid review team met to evaluate the 2 lowest bids and to decide whether to award a bid or to rebid it. And the bids, the review team met, and the contract was approved by NDOT review team, and it's now on its way to the director of NDOT and to the governor for signing. So once that's signed, I don't know how long the process that shouldn't be, but just a week or 2. Once that's signed, I think they have 30 days to start or something. And they estimated it would take only about 30 days to finish the whole project. The beautification committee ought to work with them and make plans for stuff to continue our bicycle trail down there with benches and stuff like that part of the way. And it would also be a good place to continue our trees around if we could have water for them. Some of that area, once we got them going, wouldn't need water because of the low water level down that way. Anyway, just an idea while you were on your beautification thing. Okay.
Sounds good.
I do got one thing for that too, Sean. As you know, we came down, took down those reindeer and whatnot.
Yeah, that,
And I was thinking we could redo them, so this don't gotta happen tonight or nothing, but maybe at your next meeting, you could see if they wanna get I don't know if they'd be willing to like pay for a little bit of paint and stuff, and then
yeah, we do
we
that.
could probably make it happen up there and have them ready for next year, cause they're pretty beat up, but.
Yeah.
If they don't wanna do it, then it's fine too.
No, they talked about that. They also talked about getting the high school involved, the wood shop, and creating kind of some of these easy cutouts, gingerbread house type stuff to put on the island as well. So they got big plans and just add something to it each year. So it's,
I took those, and then I took those back to my mom's, and she honestly wasn't very, I wouldn't say not happy, but when I showed up with them, she's kind of like, thought they were not coming back here.
oh, yeah.
I was like, well, we gotta get them
Where
fixed
do we
up. They were
store 'em?
starting to
Yeah.
get beat up, so.
Yeah, and we were talking about that too, is paying for the paint supplies and stuff for the new things they want to build. So that'd be no problem to get it and they can paint those.
Okay. Any questions for Sean? Okay. Community Development and Planning, Tommy.
All right, we planning committee met night before last, and most of the discussion was on tiny homes. Anyway, the Lincoln County Regional Development had their meeting on Monday. Tuesday? That's right. Monday was a holiday. Tuesday. Anyway, we had a presentation there by Sixco Company. It was a company that got together years back and formed 6 big companies, or 6 companies to work together, and they built Hoover Dam. They have now companies in transportation service, renewable energy, project financing strategies, economic development, supply chain technology, construction management, housing and planning. They're in the midst of a housing shortage in Nye County in Tonopah. And they're working over there with the people in Tonopah on getting some housing over there. They want to meet with me next week in regards to getting some housing going here, being as I had mentioned earlier, the rodeo grounds, and they had heard that. So anyway, they're very interested, and we'll get more information when I meet with them this next week. Also at that meeting, LCAT give a presentation there of some of their projects and their status of stuff they're doing. One of their main things is they received a partial award of $3,700 from NCOT on round 2 grants for additional advertising and marketing, but they don't have the money for this. I would like to see this put on the agenda for the room tax board, and that we support giving them LCAT $3,700 out of room tax to do this. They have requested consideration from the regional development to provide some matching funds, but I would think this would be much better coming out of the room tax fund for this, being the room tax has a pretty substantial amount there. And that's all I've got, I guess.
You want to put this on the agenda for our next meeting?
I'd like it on the agenda for the room tax board whenever they meet, and
Then if they recommend it, we'll come to us.
right.
Okay.
I'll pass that along.
Okay, any questions for Tommy? Tourism, Boxcar Museum, Mr. LeBerry.
I forgot one thing on there too. The reason they're interested in housing is because they're gonna put a renewable energy project in at Crestline on the county's dump site up there. They're gonna take 200 acres of pinyon juniper, where it's real thick up there on the private property, and they're gonna process that and just see how it works out. If it works out good for them, they have plans of working with the BLM, and they've already been working with them, and they're gonna put a manufacturing plant there at Crestline, along with this Sixco company they have. They work in conjunction with University of Nevada, Reno, and UNR for training. And they want to put a training center,
Training facility
there at Crestline, where people can get college credit and working on this. And this will be a very large facility there at Crestline.
if it works out.
If it works out, and they're gonna try this 200-acre process first. The BLM has assured them that there would be plenty of pinyon juniper in the amount that they need that would last them several decades. So this is what they're looking at now.
Any kind of a date, starting time or something?
No, I didn't get a starting date from them.
I know I was at the county commission meeting, they presented at the county commission meeting just recently for the second time. So I don't know if they have I'm not sure where that ended, but they're still presenting information to the county as well.
All right, Joe.
I don't have much. You want me to reach out to Mary and them then and see if we can set up a meeting for the room tax?
Yeah, if you
For the
want to, or
next-
I can do it, I can just let Charlie
Okay.
know and she'll probably send out a message to get everybody on board.
Okay, and then, yeah, I've been gone, I don't have much, tourism stuff. Nevada 200's coming up pretty soon again. That's supposed to be really big this year, he's made some changes, and then, the ice tournament, ice fishing and golf tournament, I wanna say he's still gonna do that within the next week or so. Other than that, Boxcar's still closed down. And I will check with them. I don't know if they've been in here, but with the restoration, if they're gonna, I thought they were squared away on where they were putting everything while that was going on.
They're probably still discussing that a little bit too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, any questions for Joe? Okay. Public Utilities, Mr. Hunter's not here tonight, and we already had some stuff with grants, so. All right. Mayor's report, I don't have a lot to report. We had a meeting today with our representative from League of Cities. I think I sent everybody a copy of what they sent to us. So that's some things that we need to kind of look over if you get a chance to look them over. They're looking at really boosting what League of Cities is doing and what they're have done in the past. They want to multiply that, but it entails big money for us. It'd be gone from like $1,200 a year dues to like $9,300 a year to be members of that.
94 or something, yeah. So
Yeah,
it was
94,
93, 94.
26.
I threw out a few numbers, so I probably messed you up, but yeah,
No, over 9,000.
it was over 9,000.
So anyway, that's some things we need to look at, have a decision on. Maybe we ought to put that on our next meeting. I know Wes will come up and give us a presentation at our council meeting and explain the whole thing, but he's got it all written out. There's some good stuff there. It's good. I just don't know if that's something that we're gonna get that much benefit out of. I don't know. But we'll have to make those decisions.
Yeah.
You want me to put that on for our next agenda, or do you just want
Or
to?
maybe we decide, maybe we figure out when he's gonna come.
Yeah,
Do
we'll
the
talk
presentation.
to him, and if can be here, then maybe we'll put it on. Otherwise, we'll plan it when he
Yeah.
can be here.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Something that we all should look at. I've sent it to you on your deal. Read the program. He's got all the programs set up there, so,
And there's a new formula,
yep.
and we're actually, for Kelani, that's pricey, but other larger cities, I know it's a drop in the bucket for them, but like, I think North Las Vegas was $80,000.
Yeah, we were at the very bottom
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Quick comment, Mayor, I
Yes.
apologize. Last meeting, we had discussed about agendizing, I don't even know if that's a word, putting on the agenda, the meter for our power out here by the lot. empty
Yes.
lot. I didn't do that because we're in the process of working that through with them. So I wasn't sure if we wanted to put that on the agenda next meeting, or if you're comfortable with kind of finishing up what we're working on right now before.
If you're working with them, then when we get ready, then we need to put it on.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I found out something today too that I didn't know. The mayor has the ability to marry couples. I didn't know that. I had a great request today for some people from Utah. I was kind of under the impression they were going to do it here at the depot or something, you know? And maybe just couples coming over and getting it done. Well, it's a big deal. They're having it up at the barn up here. And it's a great big deal. There, people backed out on them that was gonna do the ceremony. And luckily, it's out of the city limits, so I'm not, I'm not obligated.
Already married?
Mayor did you ever marry anybody?
No, he said he's never
He's
had
never
it.
had to do it. Okay.
They were too scared to ask him.
I got a question on it. So is it only
No,
in the
that
city
was-
limits?
I guess
Among the
so.
duties,
You couldn't
Legal side.
exercise that
gotta
outside?
be licensed through the state.
Interesting, huh?
I told him no anyway. I don't have anything else.
When's the next meeting, Craig?
Next meeting is going to be, I can't believe I didn't put that on there again. February 4th. Nope, February 3rd.
You want
Not gonna
these
do it on
Friday
a Friday again.
nights? You want
Not
these
gonna do it on a Friday again. February 3rd, and just as a heads up, depending on how things go with the audit, we may or may not have a special meeting before the end of January. So we'll see how that goes on Monday,
6 o'clock on February 3rd.
6 o'clock,
What about a meeting before the end of January?
for the audit. If the audit gets finished, we may need a special meeting for the audit.
Okay. Public comment.
Wednesday, Tuesday. When I got here at 6, they were really,
Normal time,
Back-
6 o'clock. There was a regional development in here, so we went over next
well,
door.
you didn't tell me that part. That's why I missed it. Anyway, Mary Cordle. I just want to bring up that the reason that you guys, I don't know if it was you guys, when did they change the power bill to the end of the month?
So it wasn't the power bill,
Well, yeah, I mean, the late charge.
the late charge. So
What-
that happened, it was in 2019, not long before COVID, and then they didn't charge late fees at all. So it really hasn't been an issue until now.
Okay, the reason that you guys changed that was because you had 3 gentlemen that came in here that got their social security checks at the very end and charging them $25 because they did not get their bill paid till after the due date really wore on them. And it was out of the concern for senior citizens and people on limited incomes and social security. So I really think it's crappy that you changed it back. It doesn't affect me, because I get mine the first of the month. The people that came in, the one gentleman, he is on a very limited income, and that $25 a month eats really into what you get. So I think it was wrong.
I think, we have maybe a few people that would fit in that category, and those things can be considered with those individuals as they rise, if we have a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, like the one guy, I mean, it was really hard on him and his family, they're,
Oh,
because of the medical bills and, it just.
And I appreciate that. One thing I will say about that, and that this is probably on a personal level, maybe separate from the meeting, but one thing that we could do, I would not be opposed personally to, if they knew that that bill is due and we can get them ahead by $25, I could do that personally. And then they can pay that the first of the month, right after they get paid for the following month, instead of sort of paying a month behind. If they're paying it right when they get paid for the coming bill, then that wouldn't be an issue.
Well, I don't know how it works, because like I say, I'm very lucky mine is it the first of the month? But the one guy, he got his like on the 24th or something like that. And, it cut into their medical and whatnot, because his wife is not healthy. So I mean, I just think.
Yeah.
Feel for the city crew that they're in there doing it, but our
Well.
old people really have a hard time.
Now, I think I think we'll work things
We'll
out
work
with
that
our
out.
city clerk. We can have individual things that work them out with that stuff. But it caused more problems than what we thought it was gonna do.
And what we found was they weren't the ones that were,
They never are.
Yeah. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, we've already scheduled a date for next meeting. Then I adjourn this meeting.